Two friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. Two friends just made a podcast. It's called Culture Bucket. Two friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. Two friends just made a podcast. Culture Bucket, Georgia and Alex.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the universe's greatest podcast, the universe's favourite podcast, Culture Bucket, the podcast where two good, great best friends talk all things popular culture and have fun discussions, etc. like that. You're joining us today for a very, very, very special episode. We are on episode number 120.
Woohoo!
We've been waiting for it for a long time, and it's finally here. I can't believe we made it. It's incredible. I'm your host, George, and the voice you can hear is your other host, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hi, George.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
It's been a long time since we recorded. We have recorded.
It is, yeah, because it's been a whole summer, and everyone has been hopefully thoroughly enjoying the Black Mirror mini season.
Yes.
Where...
The one I did not enjoy very much.
Yeah, it was mostly a season of you explaining why you didn't like each episode, but hopefully it kept people ticking over until the return. It's all right. It's fine to be wrong. It's not a problem.
What?
So
it's fine to be wrong.
Yeah.
That's not nice, is it?
Well, no, I was pooing all over my big summer idea for 5 episodes, but that happened.
What? No, it was a great idea, George. I just didn't like the series. Like, I don't have to like everything. I'm not pooing on it. No, I think it was great. We had like some different ideas and different opinions on a series that I did not enjoy. And you enjoyed. But you didn't enjoy all the episodes. Like, you were like kind of not... You didn't enjoy the series as much as you thought you would.
I didn't enjoy the 4th episode.
Which is...
Maisie Day.
But you didn't really like the 3rd episode either, which...
Oh, the space one?
Yeah.
Bit too long. It was all right.
Bit too spacey. Anyway,
with everyone's... We've done this. Let's move on. So... Please could everyone rate our podcast, go on to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, anywhere you can, and give us a rating, give us a review. We'd love to read some reviews out. If any come our way, we'll happily do that. And it would be great to get the word out about our podcast a little bit more to your friends and relatives. Maybe your aunt or your niece might like it. Who knows? Give it a try. Get them listening. And that would be awesome. And also, if you'd like to support us in any further ways, you are able to buy us a coffee to assist us in our endeavours, paying for hosting, etc., and drinking coffee. And in order to do that, and in order to message us and contact us and speak to us, if you'd also like to do that, you can find a link to our link tree in the show notes for this in every episode. And please do come and join us and make contact and speak to us and stuff. It would be great. So as I said, it's a special episode. It's episode 120. And we've got a bumper-packed summer catch-up edition of Culture Catch-Up to do, along with our usual MyTube and a brand new special feature that I'm deciding is called Quizzing It Old School. And that is Quizzing It Old School. And school is spelled with a K.
Oh, wow.
And there's no G on quizzing. There's an apostrophe.
Oh,
Quizzing It Old School.
Wow.
Yeah, man. That's coming up at the end of the episode, so do stay tuned for the most original idea of all time. But first, let me adjust my chair and get into... oh no, that was bad. It's worse. That's better. Culture Catch-Up.
Yes.
This is Culture Catch-Up time. This is where we talk about what we've watched, what we've read, what we've listened to, and probably some other stuff. Culture Catch-Up time.
It's been, I think the last time we recorded was early July, mid-July. We are now at the beginning of September, so it's been an entire summer of stuff.
Where we have actually spent 2 weeks together.
Yeah, we spent time together. It was incredible.
It was amazing. And we watched things together, finally. We went to the cinema together.
We did. To watch Barbie.
Yes.
Yeah, man. We can talk about Barbie more in a bit, because I gave my feelings on Barbie.
Yes.
6 episodes ago. But now it will be time for your feelings on Barbie. Mm-hmm. But first, I'm going to talk about Talk to Me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. And to get you in the mood of what Talk to Me is, I am going to show you the poster, and then I'd like you to tell me what you think this movie is.
Talk to me. It looks like a horror film because there's a hand. A dirty hand coming in through the darkness.
A dirty old hand.
Yeah.
What? Give me a guess based on that image of a hand in the darkness. What do you think the plot of this film might be?
Okay, it must be something to do with people have passed away to another life, and the people that are still in this life want to talk to them. Talking to dead people.
That is a very accurate.
Is it?
Yeah. Well done.
10 points.
10 points to you. This is a horror movie, new this year, from two filmmakers making their debut feature film, Danny Philippou and Michael Philippou, Australian filmmakers. Is an Australian movie. They are more famously known as a pair of YouTube creators.
Sorry, that name.
Philippou. Well, I don't know what they're...
I'm sure it's fine.
Anyway, their YouTube channel is called Raka Raka. Mm-hmm. I'll talk more about them in a minute, but they've made this movie, Talk to Me, and it follows a group of Australian teens who behave very realistically for Australian teens, or teens in general. I think like this. One of the good things about this movie is the characters feel very real. They don't feel like teens in a traditional Hollywood horror movie where they're all played by 30-year-old men and women, and they all behave in a way that just teenagers don't behave. Like, these teenagers are just grubs, just absolute grubs, grubbing around. They're still played by people who are vastly too old to play teenagers, but they feel grubby and realistic. We mainly follow Mia, played by Sophie Wilde, who puts in an insanely good performance in this movie, as a young girl who's recently lost her mother and now mainly spends her time with a found family, headed up by Sue, played by Miranda Otto, who's by far the most famous person in this movie. She was in the Lord of the Rings movies way back when, playing, I want to say, Éowyn. Am I correct? Did she play Éowyn? Yes, she played Éowyn. So one day Mia goes to a party with her friends, and at the party these people have this like ceramic hand, which supposedly has the real hand of a psychic encased inside it. Did
you show me the trailer?
I might have shown you a trailer for this, yeah. Okay. A long time ago. And the idea is, if you grip the hand and you say, "Talk to me," you see a... it's funny, in the UK there's a show called Phone Jacker, where a guy would do like prank phone calls, and one of his characters would go, "Talk to me."
Yeah, exactly.
But they wouldn't have known, I assume. Anyway, if you say "talk to me," you see a ghost and it talks to you, and if you are connected to it for more than 90 seconds, bad things happen, is the idea. And obviously somebody ends up connected to it for more than 90 seconds, bad things happen. We end up in a sort of possession, Exorcist style story at points, and it kind of, it's a horror movie, and that's the setup, and I don't want to talk too much more about the plot, but I thought this movie was amazing. I saw it in a preview screening, and was just sort of stunned by how good it was. It's an immediate horror classic, because it is really, really gnarly and grim, and when bad things happen to people in this movie, it makes you feel that bad thing. Like, they get you to care about the characters, and then when bad things happen to those characters, you really kind of see and feel their pain and what they're going through, and it makes all the horror that much more effective. And it also feels like a really fun ride quite a lot of the time. It's got a great sort of pull the rug out from underneath you final act. And yeah, I'd recommend you go and watch it. And it's become a big horror hit of the year. Loads of directors, like Peter Jackson's come out and said how much he likes it, and a bunch of other really famous directors have come out and given it a lot of praise, and it's wonderful. The only downside is these directors, Danny and Michael Philippou, they are a pair of YouTubers, and they fully are YouTubers. I looked up some of their YouTube stuff after watching the movie. First of all, because I saw a preview screening, it opened with like an introduction by them, and immediately their energy was bizarre, and I had no idea they were YouTubers, but they felt very odd. They made a mistake in the intro, but they like made a joke of it, insisted on keeping it in, and you could hear a voice behind the camera being like, "We'd really like to film that again," and he's just like, "Nope, that's it. You're gonna have to play that."
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, "This is odd for a horror movie, for a tone to go into it," but it whatever. But then afterwards, yeah, they're kind of like the Australian equivalent of like Jake and Logan Paul, almost, in a way. They make really absurd YouTube videos that are very much not for me. Even to the point where the other week, Jake or Logan Paul, I can never remember which one it is, made some headlines for discussing on a podcast of his that he had walked out of Oppenheimer because it was too talky. And I clicked through to the clip of him saying it, and it's him talking to those two on his podcast.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're all they're good mates, which is don't know. You have to decide if you can separate the art from the artist at a certain point. But yeah, the movie is brilliant. Talk to Me is fantastic. They've already announced a sequel. Obviously, it's called Talk to Me.
Oh, wow.
Very clever, and they're returning to direct it. And for everything I think of their YouTube content, they are pretty fantastic filmmakers, it would appear. So I'm excited to see more from them. So well done. Good
work.
Blooming
Is it scary?
done. Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying.
Okay.
It's genuinely unsettling.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you probably won't watch it, but I did really enjoy it. So yeah, that was good. Up next is a film that we've watched the trailer for together a couple of times.
A couple?
Yeah, because a couple of trailers came out for it, and we ended up watching like multiple trailers because we were pretty excited about the potential for this movie to be really, really good. And let me tell you, it was really, really good.
Oh.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And the movie is, I want to do this poster thing, but I can't find good posters that are high enough resolution. Here we go. Boom. Boom. This is the movie we're going to talk about now.
The suspense is killing me, George.
Boom.
Ah.
Aha!
So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's like a mouthful to say.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mutant Mayhem.
In Italian, they're just Le Tartarughe Ninja.
The Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Or the Turtle Ninjas?
Whoa.
It's pretty essential to their characters that they're teenagers. And that they're mutants, because they're not just normal turtles, are they?
Yeah. But
so I think there's some essential
kind of details
information.
in Italy don't matter.
This movie is the latest iteration of the Turtles, who have had many, many, many iterations over the years. People my age will best know them for the 1980s animated series that they were in, that I loved when I was a kid. But in the 90s, you had the live-action ones with the absolutely horrifying animatronic puppet men. There was another animated movie about a decade ago, or probably 15 years ago now, over a decade ago probably. And there's been various other animated versions that have come and gone in the years since. This movie kind of set itself apart by setting its stall out as being one where you were really going to feel like they were teenagers. And in that respect, it absolutely succeeds. They've cast, I think, genuine teenagers as the Turtles, and they sound and act and behave and move and and everything about them screams that they are teenagers. They are still finding their way in life, which is a really good element of the film, I think. They are Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. They live in the sewers with their guardian, a human rat man called Splinter. voiced in this movie by Jackie Chan. And in this movie, they discover that there are other mutants. I won't spoil how and why and all that happens because it's revealed by the movie, but there are other mutants led by Superfly, voiced by Ice-T or Ice Cube. One of the Ices. Hang on. Hang the heck on.
I am not going anywhere.
Who voices Blummin' Superfly in this movie? Da 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 da. Ba ba da ba bow 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 bow. It is, of course, Ice Cube. But the voice cast for this movie is crazily stacked. The actors that play the core 4 teenage turtles aren't very well known because they are like genuinely very young actors, but they put in a really good performance. But supporting them, you have people like Ayo Edebiri from The Bear, which we love Ayo Edebiri. She voices April O'Neil, who Turtle fans will know is a reporter that befriends the turtles and sort of is their link to the human world. But you've also got people like Maya Rudolph is in there, Seth Rogen's in there, John Cena's in there, Rose Byrne, Natasha Demetriou, Giancarlo Esposito, Paul Rudd, Hannibal Buress, Post Malone turns up in it.
Wow.
Yeah, there is a lot of people in this movie. It's pretty stacked with characters. Some of them only get, like, Rose Byrne's in there, but she only gets like 3 or 4 lines of dialogue, but you know, she's fine. I enjoyed it. It's a fun Turtles adventure. The animation is amazing. It looks really not hand-drawn in the way that, say, the Spider-Verse movies feel kind of like their own comic book style. This movie feels almost like it's been animated in crayon, and you can see all the smudges and all the kind of wrinkles of the imperfections in it. It's really, really awesome the way it's made. I love the look of it. The action looks really good. The animation's great. The voice acting is great. The only thing that let it down, the music's great. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the soundtrack, really good, and also lots of use of really good licensed songs. The only downside for me was that the script kind of stayed on the kiddie side a little bit. It kind of, the target audience for this movie is a little bit younger than I don't know. The Spider-Verse movies are aimed at, say, like a young adult teenage audience. This movie feels much more aimed at like a very young audience, and it doesn't quite have as much kind of nuance to it as a result. But you know, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's fine. It's a really fun time. I liked it. Let's move on. I also watched. I'm not going to show you the poster for this one, but I went to see the new DC superhero movie, Blue Beetle.
Oh, I didn't know it was out.
It's out. I saw it. And then I went to see Gran Turismo.
Was it bad?
It was nothing. It's not worth talking about. I can barely remember it exists. It's not bad. It's not good. I'm going to move on. But Blue Beetle's out. If you want to see it, go now. Because I don't think it'll be out long. Gran Turismo. What's Gran Turismo, Alex?
Well, it must be something to do with cars, I guess.
Yes, and
racing
and
men
and
women in bikinis
and
Italy.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Video games.
Video games.
Because Gran Turismo is a video game.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a very famous one.
Is it?
Yeah, Gran Turismo is Sony's flagship racing simulation for the PlayStation series. In fact, a lot of people would tell you off for calling it a video game. It is a simulation. It aims to be as close as possible to the experience of driving a real car on a racetrack. And, you know, the first one came out on the original PlayStation, and the most recent one has come out on, I think, PlayStation 5. It's kind of been there throughout the life of the PlayStation. Sony are moving more and more into producing film and television, as evidenced earlier this year by the Last of Us series, as evidenced by the Uncharted movie last year, and now as evidenced by Gran Turismo.
Nice.
However, this one is different because it's not an adaptation of the game, because the game is merely simulating racing cars. It is an adaptation of the story of a fan of the game, which I think is interesting. There is this guy, and his name is... His name is Jan Mardenborough.
Okay.
And he is a real-life expert Gran Turismo player. He grew up spending his life playing Gran Turismo and dreaming of being a race car driver. And as luck would have it, Nissan created a Gran Turismo Academy wherein expert players of the video game could go and be trained to drive real racing cars. And if they won the Gran Turismo Academy, they would earn a place on the Nissan team to race motorsports for real in real cars.
What?
Yes.
This
is a real thing that happened. Now, the way the movie presents it is that they did it for the first ever time and they immediately found this Jan Mardenborough guy and he became really successful. In reality, it was like the third or fourth year that they were doing it that they found this guy who ended up being really good. But so the movie takes liberties, but it's fine. In real life, Jan Mardenborough did get into the GT Academy and he won it, and now he is a reasonably successful racing driver in real life. And it's quite an interesting story with a lot of twists and turns. They've taken it and adapted it into a movie. They've smoothed it out a bit and kind of left off any of the awkward... they've combined characters together. They've turned it into a film. And if that is a problem for you, then that's okay. But for me, it was all right. I went with it. It's been directed by Neil Blomkamp, who you might know for making District 9. You might know him for making Chappie. You might know him for making Elysium. He normally makes sci-fi movies, but he's ventured into this kind of video game adaptation sports drama field. And the trailers for it looked pretty ridiculous. The whole idea of it as being like an adaptation of a video game that's a story about someone playing the video game kind of wasn't that inspiring. But I went to see it because after Blue Beetle, I figured, I need to watch something. Because I feel like I've just spent 2 hours watching nothing. And maybe it was because of those lowered expectations. Also, and I wasn't even going to talk about it, but I went to see Meg 2, The Trench, directed by one of my favourite filmmakers, Ben Wheatley. Also nothing. Also, no, not even nothing, actually. That's a bad film. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I didn't like Meg 2, The Trench. So I did a triple. Blue Beetle, Meg 2, The Trench, Gran Turismo. And my expectations by the time I got into Gran Turismo were in the toilet because I'd spent 2 hours doing nothing, 2 hours being disappointed by one of my favourite filmmakers. But it's fine. He got paid and he'll go off and do another really cool little folk horror movie or something. And, Ben Wheatley can do whatever he wants. But then I was like, right, Gran Turismo, the one I was least interested in seeing. Let's see how this goes. It was spectacular. I really liked it. I was engrossed from the beginning to the end. The actor that plays Jan Mardenborough is really good. His name is Archie Madekwe, and you will know him as one of the guests in Midsummer. One of the British man of the couple that kind of freak out a bit when everything's going wrong. Okay. And he ends up, it doesn't go well for him in that movie. But
no.
But yeah, he's really good in this, and backing him up, you've got Orlando Bloom playing Danny Moore, the marketing executive at Nissan, who started the Gran Turismo Academy. Orlando Bloom is great in this movie. He's entered his kind of middle-aged era of his career now. He's looking a little bit older. He's got long, straggly hair in this movie, and he's brilliant. He puts in a really fun performance. But then as Jack Salter, who's a combined character, isn't a real man, but is basically the guy who mentors and trains up Jan, David Harbour. And he is just playing Sheriff Hopper in this movie as kind of a grumpy, sad old man whose best days are behind him, but sees potential in this young man and forms a bond with him, and is really, really good in the film. I love watching David Harbour in just about anything. And yeah, good film. Jerry Halliwell plays his mum as well, just to put that out there, from the Spice Girls.
Is she good in it?
Yeah, she's all right. She's married to someone big in F1, Christian Horner, I think.
What? Okay.
So I think that's why she's in it, maybe. I don't know. But she's fine in it. It's weird. I saw a review that referred to her as a cameo, and it's not a cameo. She's in it for the whole movie, and she's acting in it. Okay. But she's fine. It's just odd. Yeah. So I'd recommend people go and see the Gran Turismo movie. I think it cost, according to Wikipedia, it cost $60 million to make, and it has currently made $60.7 million. So it's not like it's not absolutely destroying the box office in the way that Barbie did or anything, but I think it's doing okay. And I think people should check it out. I had a good time with it. Up next, I went to see a film called Theatre Camp. Do you know much about Theatre Camp, Alex?
Not at all.
Well, this movie, I think, is one that you'll want to see.
Well, is it set in the summer? Is it a coming-of-age movie? Is it set in high school?
It's set in the summer. It's set at a theatre camp, so not in a high school. Is it a coming-of-age movie? Kind of. It follows a group of people that run a theatre camp. A camp for children over the summer to learn drama and music and all of those things. The camp is run by Joan Rubinski, played by Amy Sedaris, who in the opening shots of the film suffers an epileptic fit inspired. She ends up in a coma due to a theatre related mishap with a strobe light that makes her have a problem, and as a result, her son Troy takes over the camp for the summer. Her son Troy is played by Jimmy Tatro, who I have seen before in American Vandal, one of my favourite comedy series on Netflix. He's a real life YouTuber, but I don't know much about that side of him. But he's very, very good at playing kind of American bro idiots, and he does in this. He's more interested in being an influencer and growing his own personal brand than he is in running a theatre camp. So immediately the staff of the camp are quite nervous. The staff of the camp mainly represented through the head of drama and the head of music. The head of drama is Amos, played by Ben Platt, who I last saw in Dear Evan Hansen, playing Evan Hansen, that musical film.
Yes.
That was not very good. He's much better here. And then the head of music at the camp, Rebecca Diane, played by Molly Gordon, incidentally one of the co-directors of the movie, along with Nick Lieberman, and one of the co-writers of the movie. Molly Gordon plays Rebecca Diane, and Molly Gordon you will know as playing Claire in the second season of The Bear.
Yes.
And in Booksmart as someone.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. I love her.
I love her.
I like her.
She's great, and she's very good in this movie. It's kind of nominally set up as like a mockumentary. It has a couple of on-screen subtitles that explain that it's a documentary and that, they were going to make it about Amy Sedaris' character who's passed out, but they decided to keep on filming. And the whole film has kind of a film grain effect to it and feels very low budget, but it kind of also forgets that it's meant to be a mockumentary and just is a film after a while, but that's fine. It's incredibly funny. Jimmy Tatro is very, very funny. Molly Gordon's very funny. Ben Platt's very funny. The rest of the cast are great. Ayo Edebiri is in it. It's quite a small role, but is funny every time she's on screen. All of the young people that play the children at the camp are really good and commit and are funny and interesting. It's got really funny songs in it, and it is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I've seen it twice. In the cinema, and I loved it. So I really strongly recommend that people go and watch Theatre Camp. It could easily pass you by, but it has had in the UK a relatively wide release. It's been in Cineworld and stuff, and I'm sure it'll hit streaming soon enough. And it's one that if you're a fan of nice, sweet-hearted, gently funny movies, watch Theatre Camp. You'll enjoy it. Let's see. Up next, a couple more films to go through. I went to see a movie called Cobweb. It's a horror film. It's not a masterpiece like Talk to Me, but it's pretty fun, and it follows a young boy who is bullied at school, a little bit isolated, and his parents are a little bit odd. His parents played by Lizzie Kaplan, who people know from, she was in Mean Girls back in the day. She was in, what's that comedy that she's in called Party Down, which is a really good comedy. She's good. And Anthony Starr, who people will know as Homelander from The Boys, plays his dad. And the young boy is called Peter. And Peter... What I like about the movie is you immediately get a very odd vibe from his parents, and you can tell something about his home life is not quite right. It's kind of like in like some horror movies, the kid will look across the street and there'll be a creepy house across the street, and it will freak them out. In this movie, the kid lives in the creepy house. It's not across the street. It's where he lives, and nice. It kind of has this odd tension straight away. And then there are these scenes where he's in bed at night and he starts to hear voices. And the movie kind of takes its time revealing how and why all of that is happening, and exactly what the deal is with his parents and stuff. And I won't spoil any of it here, but it has an interesting plot. It has a few twists and turns throughout that kind of keep it entertaining, keep it interesting. It has a pretty mad ending that's pretty enjoyable, and it's not a masterpiece. You don't need to see it in the cinema, but I'd recommend going and checking out Cobweb. But probably not you, Alex. I think you'd find it a bit scary.
Okay, yeah, definitely not me.
No. Other than that, I just wanted to really quickly shout out. So, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time passed away over the summer, sadly. William Friedkin, director of The Exorcist, director of Sorcerer, a movie I really love, director of Killer Joe, a fantastic Matthew McConaughey. Is it Matthew or Matthew McConaughey film? It's not Michael McConaughey, is it? It's Matthew McConaughey.
It's Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
I've gone insane.
You have.
Killer Joe is really good. Director of, what else did he make? Cruising, which I haven't seen. A few other movies. Anyway, The French Connection. The guy was amazing. One of his most kind of highly rated movies is one that I'd never seen. It's quite hard to see. It doesn't really tend to stream anywhere. It's called To Live and Die in LA, and it follows a police detective played by William Peterson, who people might know as being like the main character in the CSI series for 15 years or something. But this movie was made in the 80s, long before that. He plays a police detective whose partner is murdered by a money counterfeiter played by Willem Dafoe, who's great. And then sort of he becomes obsessed with taking down this counterfeiter played by Willem Dafoe, and will do it whatever it takes, whatever the cost, is determined to do it. The movie is about 2 hours long. It's fairly slow paced. You can feel a bit bored in the first hour, but if you stick with it, it's got one of the best car chase sequences ever filmed towards the end, and the final act is absolutely wild and is worth getting to. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought William Peterson was really good. I don't really know him. Willem Dafoe, in an early role, quite young in this movie, is really sinister and unsettling and upsetting. The soundtrack is done by this band called Wang Chung, who are like a new wave band from the 80s. Their name means Yellow Bell in Chinese.
Okay.
The soundtrack is great, really kind of like synthy and exactly what you want from an 80s movie. And it takes some really unexpected turns and is really kind of cool, entertaining. They hired a genuine retired money counterfeiter to help film the scenes where Willem Dafoe is counterfeiting money, and the guy actually made counterfeit bills. And then after the film finished, they had like about $1 million in counterfeit notes, and they were meant to destroy all of them, but some of them didn't get destroyed, and William Friedkin admitted years later that he started to just spend some of them. They were so well counterfeited, that he got away with it. And the FBI used to ring him up and try and get him to come in for interviews about it, and he'd ask them if they have a warrant, and they'd say no, and he'd be like, well, no, go away. He was a real kind of unique individual, William Friedkin. And the world is slightly less bright without him, but he left behind a big legacy, especially in The Exorcist. Nice. I mean, good Lord, The Exorcist is... Yeah, anyway. Finally, a couple of TV series to recommend. On Apple TV, I watched the series Silo. Absolutely amazing. The only kind of drama on Apple I've seen that's better than Silo is Severance, which I talked about a few ages ago. Silo follows a group of people, a society of about 10,000 people, sometime in the future, who live in a huge silo bunker type thing underground on Earth. They're not allowed to go out because the Earth is a desolate wasteland due to events that happened hundreds of years before the series is set. They do not know why they are underground, and they do not know why they can't leave. They only know that anyone who does go outside dies, so they have to stay inside, and this society has formed within the silo as a result. The series mainly follows a character called Juliette Nichols, played by Rebecca Ferguson, who fans of the Mission Impossible series will know as Ilsa Faust in that series. Rebecca Ferguson is a wonderful actress. I've enjoyed her in just about everything I've ever seen her in, and getting to see her take the reins of a whole TV series was a joy. She's really good in this, as a woman who starts as a mechanic and then ends up in a slightly different job as a result of the plot of the show. and is kind of pulling at the threads of various conspiracies that might reveal huge secrets that the people that run the silo do not want people to know, and it ends up being this kind of really taut, paranoid conspiracy thriller set in this quite confined location of this silo, and it has some really good twists, some really good moments, and yeah, it's good, and backed up. Rebecca Ferguson is backed up by a really good cast of like Rashida Jones is in it a little bit. David Oyelowo is really good in it. Common is in it quite a bit. He's really good in there. Tim Robbins is great in this. Yeah, good cast, good plot, really high production value because it's on Apple. I'd really highly recommend people check out Silo. I think it slightly didn't get the kind of recognition and notice it deserved when it came out earlier in the summer. So yeah, go back and watch it. And then the other thing to mention is that Alex made me watch The Summer I Turned Pretty.
I didn't make you watch it.
You made me watch The Summer I Turned Pretty.
That is a lie.
It's just
that is a lie.
Bad nonsense, and now she's forcing me to do a special episode on it.
that is insane. I did. You said no. I don't accept this, George. You watched it voluntarily. It's like, are you sure? And when we were watching it here, when you came to Italy during the summer, I was like, every time I was like, are you sure you want to watch another episode? Like, I was really kind of like, I don't want to force you to watch. You were
so insecure about the fact that I wanted to carry on watching it. No, I watched The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's a show on Amazon Prime based on a book by Jenny Han and show run by Jenny Han.
Yes.
Previously of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And is it called EXO? The
Exo Kitty, yes.
Exo Kitty. So Alex has talked about some of her stuff in the past. And I think Alex has talked about... Have you talked about The Summer You have talked about The Summer I Turned Pretty before.
I have turned... I was trying to like play it down how much I liked it. So I have talked about it before. But
yes, you have. And... Yeah. It follows the adventures of Belly, played by Lola Tung.
Yeah, Lola Tung. Yeah.
As she goes to, in the first season, as she returns to Cousins, a kind of seaside resort town in, I think, kind of the northeast, somewhere in America.
Yeah,
like Rhode Island kind of area, I think.
Yeah.
She spends every summer in this roadhouse with her mum and her brother and her mum's best friend and her mum's best friend's two sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. Mm-hmm. And this summer, she's turned pretty.
She has turned pretty.
So will her lifelong crush on Conrad be fulfilled?
Yeah.
As she has turned pretty. And in the second season, it's just constant misery. But it's fine.
It's not constant misery. There are some good moments.
So there's 2 seasons. They've confirmed a 3rd season is coming. Yeah. It's a classic love triangle story, basically, and it's well made. It has high production value. It's got incredible songs on the soundtrack, including a lot of Taylor Swift songs.
A lot.
And it's enjoyable and fun to watch, and we will be doing a special on it, and I do want to do a special on it. So if you're interested in good teen romance drama, that is made. Again, a bit like Talk to Me, it feels quite real. The characters are swearing, they're doing drugs at various points. Don't
doing drugs.
Approve of that very much. But it feels a little bit more real and a bit grubbier than your standard kind of teen drama, I think.
I think so.
Although
too,
it does also indulge in some of the cliches of that drama, but that's fine. They're cliches for a reason. And we will be doing in an upcoming episode. Well, let's see, next week's going to be the bear, and then so in about 3 episodes' time, we will be discussing The Summer I Turned Pretty in more depth. So if you would like to do some homework, please do watch it. We'll talk about it more then. And finally, very quickly, I spent a lot of time while I was in Italy with Alex. I was playing a video game on my Nintendo Switch called The Messenger, made by a French game developer called Sabotage Studio. The Messenger came out, 4 years ago or so now, and is a retro-inspired 2D side-scrolling game inspired by games like Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden that came out when I was a kid. I really enjoyed it, really loved it, but the reason I played it is because their new game was coming out at the end of the summer, and I was interested in playing that. And their new game is a prequel to The Messenger. So any gamers out there, if you haven't played The Messenger, get on The Messenger. It's really good. And then the new one is called Sea of Stars, and instead of being a 2D side-scrolling game, it is it's basically inspired by SNES era Japanese RPGs like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger. In fact, Chrono Trigger is definitely the biggest influence for it, and it's a really beautifully animated and designed ode to those old JRPGs. So if you love JRPGs of the SNES era, go and check out Sea of Stars. It's available on PlayStation and Xbox, and is available on the Game Pass or PS Plus things on each of those consoles. You can also get it on Switch, and you can get it on PC. It's available everywhere. It's really, really good, really well made. I've played 20 hours of it, and I'm nowhere near the end, so it's a good game. And that is all of my culture catch-up. There was a lot to get through, but it's episode 120. Let's have a bumper time.
Bumper time. Great.
Yeah. What have you got to add to the conversation?
So I watched the Barbie movie this summer. Mm-hmm. Twice. Once without you and once with you.
That's how all films should be.
Yeah, once without you, once with you. Yes. I don't need to talk about what Barbie movie is or who's got in it. Just my opinion, really.
What is your opinion?
It's been talked about. I absolutely loved and adored this film. I think it's so fun to watch, and you can. It has created a lot of like conversations which are either positive or negative, and in a way it's good that a film can do that can like create different conversations depending on how you perceived it. And I think everybody has perceived this film in different ways, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. I think whatever your path of life has been, you have seen this film in a different light, I think. I cried in moments that I didn't think I was going to cry. I laughed. I thought it was amazing. The acting is incredible. The music is great. I thought it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. So George has just presented to me not all of Ryan Gosling, but Ryan Gosling's abs. Thank you for that.
Look at his abs.
Look at his abs.
Do you know, I read this week that he was... have you ever seen the movie The Lovely Bones?
No. I had to read the book, though, for some reason.
Yeah, the book's rubbish.
Yeah, I did read the book, I think, in school.
Stupid bad book. I read the book, didn't like it, didn't watch the movie. Yeah. However, the dad in the movie was played by Mark Wahlberg. Oh. But originally cast was our man Ryan, who was fired... because he gained 60 pounds to play the dad, because he envisioned the dad as being like quite a big guy. Oh, okay. And then when he turned up to set and had put all this weight on, Peter Jackson, the director, that's not the look he wanted for the character.
He was a sexy dad.
Yeah, I guess. So he got fired. So he gained 60 pounds for a role unnecessarily, and then lost the job, which is must have been gutting.
Well, at least he's not in a bad film. He
put on a different level of effort for this movie.
Yes.
And it paid off.
Yes, he is great in it. He's wonderful. Margot Robbie is amazing too. Everybody's great. It's a great film.
It is the first film ever directed by a female filmmaker to earn over $1 billion at the global box office.
Yeah.
It is Warner Brothers' highest grossing movie domestically ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. Making more money than Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, the previous holder of the biggest Warner Bros. Movie. Like, that's pretty... Warner Bros. Is a big film studio. They've made a lot of movies over the year. Barbie is now their most successful film on this metric, at least. And it sits at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is high. It should be higher. It should be higher. Again, the audience score, where you tend to see female-centric movies, female-led movies, tend to get review-bombed and do worse on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, they have put things in place to try and avoid that now, and you can find people online saying that it's a conspiracy, etc. But it's got 83% in the audience score, which I think shows it does have a big audience. There are people that are loving this movie. It's still on in cinemas. It's returning to cinemas to play on the IMAX because it couldn't play on IMAX screens when it first came out due to Oppenheimer using up all those screens. So it's returning to cinemas in September to be on the IMAX, along with some added footage, apparently, after the credits.
Oh.
It has been a sensation, and it has produced Ryan Gosling's first charting single in I'm Just Ken, which is excellent.
I'm just Ken. Everywhere else I'll be a 10.
Because he's such a chameleon, Ryan Gosling. It's
Yeah,
easy to
he's a
forget
great
that he
actor.
was in La La Land. Like, he's shown before that he can sing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's amazing. He's done. His like work is so varied, and I love him in everything.
Yeah, and I feel bad because it's easy to focus on his performance and forget that the linchpin in the movie is Margot Robbie, who puts in like an easily Oscar nominatable performance as Barbie. She's also amazing in the film, and I want her because Ryan Gosling's been with us for a long time and he's made a lot of movies that I love. And we are going to do a top 5 Ryan Gosling performances episode.
Yes.
And that will be fun. We're also going to do top 5 Margot Robbie performances. Margot Robbie is earlier in her career and has unfortunately made a couple of not wonderful choices recently. And I'm glad that Barbie is kind of putting to bed, because she was in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
She's one of the worst films I've ever seen. And her performance in it, due in my view to the director giving bad direction, her performance is bizarre. And Babylon, which she's really good in, but my God, that movie isn't good. Like, so bad.
Yeah.
So Margot Robbie doesn't have, like, I want Margot Robbie to have, like, I watched The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe the other week, and it's so good, and Ryan Gosling is so amazing in it. And Margot Robbie does have good films, and we'll talk about them when we get to that episode. But yeah, I really want her to go from this movie to have many more interesting and successful roles in the future, because she is a real talent.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Moving on. We watched together a film that was acclaimed and everybody loved, and we both didn't understand it, so maybe somebody that is listening could explain it to us. We watched a film called Triangle of Sadness.
Oh yeah.
We're very excited to watch it. It's a film directed by Ruben Östlund, also written by him. I've spoken about one of his films before. Stop presenting Ryan Gosling and making me all, distracted.
Sorry.
I spoke about one of his films that I enjoyed, but you didn't enjoy, The Square. And Triangle of Sadness had, lots of good reviews, and he won a Palme d'Or, and but I don't know, what is it about? It's
about the mega wealthy.
Yeah, mega wealthy. Is like, it starts really well. Yeah, it starts. I thought the beginning was like promising. I thought it was really good how, the modeling world, but then I think Ruben Östlund just wants to make a point constantly, and I didn't see that very much in The Square, but I can see that he was, trying to make a point between rich and poor. But in this one, it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes of him making a point about the super wealthy and how people don't care about the poor, which, of course, it's reality. But I think he's just done overdrive in this film. I think it's just, the beginning is cool. There is this model who goes out with his influencer, played by Harris Dickinson, and Charby Dean, who unfortunately has passed at a young age of 32 after the film. And the beginning is quite interesting. It explores their relationship and, the modeling world. But then they go on a boat. And I think that's when they go on the boat, everything just goes...
Well, that's the movie. Like, I feel like you should cut out that opening sequence set before the boat, because the movie's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, you could cut that like that, but I think for me that it was the most enjoyable part.
Oh, I would agree, But at the same
So
time,
that's the thing, it's just
that's
like,
not the movie he's made.
I know. So, like, the only good part is something that's completely detached from the movie, which is the beginning when they're not on the boat.
Do you know what it should be like? It should be like, when Wes Anderson made the Darjeeling Limited. He made that short film, I think it's called Hotel Chevalier, with Natalie Portman, that, like, enhances the movie in some way.
Yeah.
But you watch it separately. It's on the DVD, or, it's not part of the movie. That opening bit of the Triangle of Sadness should be like that. You should go off and watch it elsewhere, but the movie doesn't need it. And, like, he would obviously argue that it does need it, I'm sure, and he has his reasons, but, like, I just feel like by the time you get to the boat, these two characters better because of that opening bit, but then on the boat, those two characters aren't really focused on.
No.
And the characters that are focused on, there's too many of them.
Too many. There are too many characters on this boat.
All you can get a handle on is the point he's making about the super wealthy being super awful. And I get it. I agree. But
it's constant
boring.
for 2.5 hours. And there, like you said, there are way too many characters on the boat. You don't really remember who is who. If it was like a super yacht with like a certain number of extra wealthy, I think I would have understood more. And then there's a scene where they all get seasick, and it's just too much. It's like too long. We know they're sick. Why do we have to do half an hour seasickness? And then they go on an island. Because I think pirates, I don't know.
Pirates attack the ship.
Some
weapons manufacturers get blown up by their own thing. Oh, the irony.
And then they arrive at a island, and the person who was serving them now becomes the leader, and it's all very, I don't know, it's just a little bit cliche and too long, and I don't know how people love this film. I don't understand. I don't know. I think he just wants to show how much he cares about things in a very long and pointless way. So
I agree.
It's bad. It's a bad film.
I wasn't a fan of it.
No.
And I wasn't a fan of the square, so I feel like I'm a bit sort of... I want to watch Force Majeure because it looks of his three kind of big films, it looks like the most like a film, hopefully. But at the same time, after these two films, I don't.
There's nothing really original about the concept of these films, is it?
Not in my view.
No, and so I feel like it's a bit,
I agree.
It's his name more than anything. I think.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, and next I'm carrying on my journey with Spike Lee movies, slow journey, and I finally managed to watch his 2018 film Black Klansman.
Oh, good.
It's based on a true story about Ron Stallworth, which was an African-American police officer from Colorado Springs, and he manages to infiltrate the local Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
By phone, of course, by telephone, on the phone, and he's Ron Stallworth on the phone. But Flip Zimmerman, played by Adam Driver, is Ron Stallworth in When He Meets Them. Fascinating story, very incredibly done. A bit different from the other films I've seen by him, but it's still got the kind of like tension and drama and comedy aspects of it, which I love. And, in his films, there's usually those kind of like 3 to 5 minutes where you like gasp and you feel like, terrible and impotent, and he didn't do it until the end, where he showed actual footage of things happening, protests happening in 2017 with the Black Lives Matter movement, and the last 5 minutes of the film, 3 minutes of the film, kind of really are very tense and terrible, but it kind of shows how something like the fight is still going on in America for some sort of equality. It's incredible. John David Washington plays Ron Starworth, is really good in it. He's Denzel Washington's son. Adam Driver plays Flip Zimmerman. He's really good in it. But he had did he get a nomination for this film? Adam Driver?
Like an Oscar nomination?
Yeah.
Yes.
But John David Washington didn't.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't.
Yeah, which is fascinating because that year, like you told me, so in 2018, the film that won the Oscars was in 2019, the film that won the Oscar was The Green Book.
Mm-hmm.
And BlacKkKlansman is a much better film, and you know, it's amazing how that film won, and
yeah, it's
BlacKkKlansman didn't win.
Pretty frustrating to Spike Lee particularly. I think Spike Lee quite famously was very publicly not happy that Green Book won best film.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know why Green Book is an okay film, but, you know, it's watchable, but it's not, first of all, not a Oscar-worthy film.
No.
And not an Oscar winner film, especially if you have, like, even other films, like The Favourite, A Star is Born was in this, Roma, BlacKkKlansman. These films were all up for nomination for, like, winning the Oscar, but Green Book won.
Who can pass why that is? But I'll agree that it's bad.
Yes. But yeah, it's a great film, really well done, and Spike Lee at his best, I think. I think it's really great film.
I mean, he's one of the greats.
Yeah. So I'm going to carry on my little quest of watching all of Spike Lee's films. I'm going to go back a few years now and watch some more. Just takes me time. And then I watched a new film that came out on Netflix. You Are Not So Invited to My Bat Mitzvah.
Nice.
I mainly watched it because I thought it was interesting that Adam Sandler and his two daughters and his wife were all cast in this film.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really sweet, and people are like, oh my god, this is like classic nepotism, blah 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 blah. It's like, he's an actor, he wants his daughters are in the film. What's the problem? Like, if you own a restaurant and your children work in the restaurant, is that nepotism? Like, it's just,
I mean, it is a little bit, but you know,
it is, but at the end of the day, it happens. And I want to just see if hopefully they were good in it, because it'd be terrible if, you know, you cast your daughters in your film and then they're rubbish. You know, like, who was it? Was it Martin Scorsese? No, a Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola casting
he put
Sofia Coppola
yeah.
in the Godfather, and she was terrible in it, apparently. She had a very bad death. But yeah, so it's just basically about it's a coming of age film about two best friends that are coming of age. They're going to do their bar mitzvah soon, but things start going wrong when they both like the same boy, and unfortunately the boy likes one of them but not the other. You know, and lots of stuff happens, but I thought it was good. I think it's a nice coming of age film. You know, they shows how some type of bar mitzvahs are a little bit over the top. You don't see much of Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is quite funny. You know, I like him in bits. Idina Menzel. No, it was what did what's his name call her?
Oh, Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem is great as his wife, plays his wife, and his two daughters, Sadie Sandler and Sunny Sandler, are really good in it.
Yeah.
Sunny Sandler plays Stacy Friedman, who is the main character, and I thought she was good in it. She's just plays a 13-year-old about to do her bat mitzvah, making mistakes as a 13-year-old does. They're quite some like. It's quite in a way realistic to feelings of 13-year-olds, what 13-year-olds really care about, and I thought it was quite, kind of realistic in a way. Sunny Sandler plays her sister, Stacey Friedman, who's just a couple of years older than her, and she constantly argues with her father, Adam Sandler, and that's pretty funny. Those are really funny bits when they're like, because they look the same, and so the arguing between the children are quite funny. And it's a nice, sweet, simple coming of age comedy where things go wrong, but then at the end everything goes okay. So it's a fun film. Yeah, would you watch it?
I'd probably give it a go at some point. I was thinking of watching it before your review, so yeah.
Yeah,
I'm always interested to see when Adam Sandler's involved in something that's not absolutely terrible.
With Adam Sandler it's always hit and miss, but I do like him sometimes. And
I like him sometimes. Uncut Gems is a masterpiece, and he's amazing in it.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, exactly. Uncut Gems. And 50 First Dates is a good film.
Yes,
The Wedding Singer's pretty good. Like, I like him when he's good, but he just doesn't often choose to be good. I think more often than not he takes the lazier route.
Maybe. But in this one is fun. He plays the role of the dad, and he is the actual dad of the girls, and so it's pretty fun. There was some real laugh out loud moments.
That's exciting.
And then I finish Succession, the 4th season of Succession. I finished it.
Oh wow.
The 4th season is incredible. If you don't know what Succession is, it's just this TV show about horrible people that have a lot of money, who own the media, and all they do is spend their billions or argue about their billions or argue about who should be the next in line of the evil media empire throne of Logan Roy. I know you were watching the 3rd series and it was a bit like slow, but I think it's worth watching the 3rd series to then get to the 4th season where it's just like so good.
Okay. I'm going to finish it and then we can probably do a special on it.
Yes, absolutely. And by the end, you're just going to gasp. It's a gaspy kind of end, which I enjoyed a lot because it was just interesting to watch 4 seasons of these characters just developing, evolving, devolving, whatever they do, and arguing, and just having a series where you don't really care too much, because at the end of the day, whatever happens, there's all still billionaires. Yes. It's a good series. I think it's very good. I watched all of the summer. I turned pretty, and I was sad at the end. This end saddened me. The 2nd season really saddened me, but we'll talk about it when we do the special.
We will.
Yeah. That was a very good series, and good for the summer. I'm glad they actually do it in the summer. And because of me watching lots of the summer I turned pretty, I want to change. My Taylor Swift top 5, I think might have changed.
No.
After the last episode of season 2, I've just been listening to Folklore non-stop every day. And terrible, eh?
I don't know, that's good.
I've been in a bit of a rut, a sad rut. Especially the song that is the last song that the last Taylor Swift song we hear in episode 8, season 2. I was like, I love that song so much.
It's a good song.
Yeah, so I don't know. We might have to do another top 5. You never know. You never know.
Well,
you never know.
Folklore was always my number 1, so.
I know. And then, last but not least, I read a book, which I would recommend a lot. Is a book called The Vegetarian by a Korean author named Kang. And is it's a story set in 3 different chapters from 3 different points of views about a woman that after a horrific dream decides to become a vegetarian. And the title is The Vegetarian, but the person that actually becomes the vegetarian has a very little say in all 3 chapters of the book. It's who has the most say in each chapter of the book is the person who's talking about her. So in the first chapter is her husband. In the second chapter is her sister's husband, and in the third chapter, her sister's. And already from here, you can kind of sense that maybe becoming vegetarian is just a way to have a power of her own over her own body and not other people. But in this book, it seems that the main character doesn't really have any say. Well, Young-hee, which is the main character, has not really any say in what happens to her body. And it seems really simple because, she just becomes vegetarian, but the entire book is kind of is about power relations and making decisions about your own body, and then what kind of decisions society makes about you. So it's a fascinating book, which I loved, and I'm really enjoying Korean authors at the moment. There's a big rise on like women talking, women authors talking about their experience in a fiction kind of form in Korea, and it's really really incredible reading their stories. So I think this is it's not very long, but it's an incredible book to read that I would definitely recommend reading.
Nice, sounds good.
The Vegetarian. Yes, and that is it for my culture catch-up.
Some good stuff on there.
Yes.
It's been a big summer.
Yes, this summer I turned pretty.
Yeah, man, we all turned pretty.
Yeah, we all went very brown
I did
or red in Sicily.
I kept myself well oiled or well creamed. And
Yeah.
survived. Should we go blooming well do some MyTube?
Absolutely.
Okay, you said you had something to share.
Yes, but I don't know if you've seen it already.
What is it?
It's a film called Foe.
Foe?
Yeah, with Saoirse Ronan. And I keep thinking about Pedro Pascal, but it's something Mescal. Paul Mescal.
Paul Mescal.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen the trailer for this.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay,
No.
I'm going to put it on then.
Okay.
So it will remind you of something that we have watched recently.
Okay.
And I thought it was fascinating that this film is coming out now that we watched something similar. But you tell me what you think it is.
I will.
Official trailer. Okay.
So this is a movie about a sort of Vietnamese soup dish with noodles.
Spelled wrongly, differently though, is F-O-E.
Oh, well that's about like an enemy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hen? Expecting anyone?
I need to have an intimate understanding of your marriage, the good and the bad. I promise it's confidential. It's between you and me.
Do you feel happy here?
Of course I'm happy here. Aren't you?
Do you feel you know how she would react in every situation?
I've always had this fantasy that there's something else out there for me.
Is it?
Do you want to live
What year is
mundane
it?
lives,
Oh, it's
or do you want to be part of something special?
2065.
and unique? You've been selected to live up there.
Okay, well, you're wasting your time because
Ooh.
we haven't even been on an airplane and she'd hate it.
I should clarify. I'm talking about you here, Junior. Only you.
Oh my god.
We're going to ensure Hen has company while you're away.
I like how everyone's called a visionary filmmaker.
Yeah.
We're going to replace
Everybody's visionary. We're going to replace you.
Want a robot living with my wife.
Do you really want to leave her here all alone, day after day?
He doesn't really see me anymore. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you this.
I encourage you to use this opportunity to act on your instincts.
Oh my god, she slapped him.
Whatever we decide, we'll be together.
So we're living in some kind of future. The Earth is dying, potentially. A lot of humanity has moved up into the stars. And Paul Mescal is being given an opportunity to go and live on the space station, but not his wife.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why. His wife, played by Saoirse Ronan. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving Saoirse Ronan. I live on a dying Earth with Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah. Yes.
And they're offering to replace him with a robot, it would appear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the same as the plot of Beyond the Moon, the episode of Beyond the Moon that we talked about. With the difference being that he's not going off on his own into space with one other man. He's going to go and live just in a new society in space. Looks intense.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a lot. You've got some very good actors in there. I don't know, is it Pierre Owen was the name of the... There's a guy that I don't think I've seen in anything else, but Paul Mescal is in one of my favourite movies of all time. I love him, obviously. And Saoirse Ronan is wonderful in everything she's ever been in. So, yeah, that looks pretty good. I want to watch that. I haven't heard of it before.
It just appeared on YouTube and it's like Paul Mescal, Saoirse Ronan. Yes, mate.
Yeah, definitely. With a little soft sci-fi twist to it.
Yes,
Good stuff.
which you don't expect at the beginning, but
No, not at all.
is the robot going to be like a total replica of like a replica of Paul Mescal?
I don't know, maybe
or-
it's just like C-3PO. It's just like a big tin man being like, "Hello, I'm your new husband."
Hi. Yes.
Right, okay, that's cool. That's something.
Yes.
Can I show you a trailer?
Of course, please do.
Good. Stop, bloody. There we go. Okay, so this, you can tell me what this is.
Okay, The Killer.
The Killer.
Official teaser trailer.
Have you seen this? Have you
Netflix
heard
film.
of this?
No.
Okay. You ready to watch it?
Yes. Okay, we're in a room, and somebody's doing yoga.
Yeah. Who's that?
Who is he?
Do you recognise
Oh,
him?
that's the guy. I know who he is. What's his name? Fassbender. Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
He is he's a sicario. No, killer. What's it called?
An assassin.
A killer. An assassin.
Stick to your plan.
Trust no one. Wow, he looks old now. What happened?
Well, he's older.
Yes.
And I think he's very gaunt looking.
Skinny
isn't he?
and dry. What, did you say dry? And it's not dry.
I get what you mean, though. I think he's lost weight for the role, maybe.
So, but
Stick to your plan. Never.
do you think assassins really exist?
Not like this.
No.
But there were people in the world that you can pay to go and, do a job for you.
Oh, there is also Tilda Swinton in it.
Simple.
I have no interest in watching this film. Because I don't care.
What?
Just another assassin movie. It's just what? You're killing people. Well done. Good job.
It's not just another assassin movie. Because it's first of all, it's written by the man who wrote the film Seven.
Ah, okay.
It's based on a French graphic novel, and it's directed. It flashes up too quickly on that trailer. I think you missed it. It's directed by David Fincher.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So this is a David Fincher movie, re-teaming him with the director of Seven, about an assassin who's, I think, losing his mind and goes on a quest to kill his bosses, apparently.
See, I didn't get any of that from the
No,
trailer.
because that's a teaser trailer. That's just giving you a mood.
It's just
and a
him
tone.
killing people. It's like, I don't care. Maybe I will care.
Well, I think you should care. David Fincher is always reason to care, I think.
Okay, I will care then. I do care.
It's coming to Netflix soon. Okay. What's next? Okay. Another... Netflix are bringing out a lot of movies. Here's one that maybe you won't care about. Or maybe you will. Maybe you'll be blown away. Have you seen the trailer for Rebel Moon?
No.
Do you know what Rebel Moon is?
Absolutely not.
I'm going to leave the trailer to explain itself to you then.
Will I understand?
Oh, you might
Probably
do. So Foe looked like Beyond the Sea, the Black Mirror.
Yeah.
You tell me what you think this looks similar to.
Okay.
It's not quite as recent as Beyond the Sea, but it is something you'll know. You ready?
Yes. Okay. Netflix. We're in a field of grass. Ugh. Ah. Oh, this is it.
Do you know the story of the Princess Issa?
Very big,
Dune.
grand, epic. It is quite Dune. Yeah.
Dune.
But there's definitely something even more that it's riffing on.
Okay.
That she was to usher in a new age of peace and compassion. I was given memories of a world I will never see.
What's going on? What is all of this about? Lots of
I don't
big
know.
imagery.
Stuff is happening. Yeah, lots of burning and stuff.
I could not save.
Big hammer. Big
The Eternals.
ships.
What do you think they want?
She wants everything. She wants to save the world.
I found her. Scargiver.
Oh, is it going to be like Star Wars that she has to save?
It might be
She-
like Star Wars.
She has to save humanity, and she's the chosen one.
Let me know if you spot any lightsabers in this trailer.
Oh yes, I've just spotted a lightsaber. Well done. It's a bit like Nazi Germany as well. They look like the SS.
Well, that's the Empire from Star Wars, really, isn't
Yes.
One moment.
There was some.
Love this part.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't want no trouble.
We're not here to bring any.
it? Oh,
Yeah. Oh, Snack Snyder.
Zack Snyder's back.
No fear.
I'm not interested. I'm so not interested.
I'm not afraid.
Oh wow, there's a phoenix.
Let's show them we are more
No.
than shackles that bind
Bit Harry Potter here with riding
Harry
the big
Potter.
thing.
Yes. No. After that name, I'm
A king
done.
is a man, and a man can fail. But a myth is indestructible.
There's a little bit too much here, isn't it? There's like droids, and then there is magical stuff. It's like sci-fi and fantasy. No.
What, you ready? Wait for it. Wait for the big reveal.
Even the trailer's too long. I've had enough already.
You think the trailer's
does it?
too long?
3 minutes and 42 seconds of trailer.
To die for what you believe.
What? What am I supposed to watch?
You'll see.
Part 1, A Child of Fire. Part 2, The
Two movies!
Stargiver.
He's made 2 movies. They announced he was making Rebel Moon ages ago, and now we've got the trailer for Rebel Moon, and he's made 2 movies. Both movies 2 hours long, for a total of a 4-hour-long film. And he's already announced, Alex, you'll be happy to hear this, he's done a director's cut.
This guy
Already.
just doesn't, just wants to like, it's just too much.
Well, you say too much.
He just likes himself too much.
I say, bring it on. Bring it on, Zack Snyder. I'll watch
Tell me
your
the last
4-hour
time
movie.
that you enjoyed a Zack Snyder film.
His remake of Dawn of the Dead, which is incidentally his first film.
Okay. And then?
It's very good. And then he did 300, which I liked at the time, but I don't think holds up very much. And then nothing else. But I'll watch it because he made it.
Okay.
And it's going to be on Netflix, so it's free.
Yeah.
No, it looks bad.
It looks really bad.
Bad and unoriginal, but it's going to be a big deal. Everyone's going to be talking about it. And who knows, maybe it'll end up being a massive, huge thing and a new Star Wars that he can be in charge of, as they won't let him make Batman movies anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't really matter. It's rubbish anyway.
What?
Nothing.
You like the Batman?
Oh, no, the Batman. Sorry, I was thinking about Superman.
Oh, no, yeah, Superman's
That's
different.
fine.
Yeah, so Rebel Moon, there's going to be a 5-hour director's cut of that film at some point in the future. So, and I'm sure it'll be in black and white and square and all of the stuff that he loves to do when he gets his way. But we're not done yet. There's a trailer here that I want to show you that I haven't seen, but is interesting to watch because it's the trailer for the new movie from Emerald Fennell, director of Promising Young Woman.
Oh!
Her new movie is Saltburn, and I don't know much about it, but I know there's a trailer out. Also seen as Midge in this summer's Barbie. So let's check out Saltburn.
Yes,
You ready?
Saltburn. Official teaser trailer.
All I know about this is that it features Barry Keoghan, who's a great actor, and Jacob Elordi, who is good in, what's that show? Euphoria. So hopefully we'll be goodness. Okay, Saltburn.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Tux. Thank you. Wow. It's a rental, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
High class, probably college or something, it looks like.
I think Oxford.
Oxford. Okay.
You think you'll go home?
I know this guy, but I don't know who he is.
Barry Keoghan.
Yes, Barry Keoghan. Jacob Elordi.
Well, why don't you come home with me?
Oh. So Jacob Elordi doing an English accent. Interesting. But I think for Australia maybe it's easier.
Maybe.
I see why Felix likes you so much. You're
So they're in a big,
real.
like, region, like state home, regent's home, like a big English.
complete and utter horror of
Oh, Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Maybe because you're a terrible
Amazing.
person.
So they're very rich. Something sexy is going to happen between them, I think. I don't know.
This
Will it?
place is not
Say that
for
again.
you.
Something sexy is going to happen between them.
I don't know. I don't really know.
Anything
Yes.
else that I should know about?
No, just be yourself. They'll love you. It's relaxed, I promise.
Yes, this is definitely my film. I think it looks good.
Yeah. This does look good.
I like the way that she does things. It's a bit like kind of maybe the colors that she uses and the kind of the camera angles. She makes it look a little bit unreal.
Definitely.
Like, yeah. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Another sort of rich versus poor story a little bit maybe, but I trust Emerald Fennell to put a better spin on it than
Yes.
Ruben Östlund did. I have one more trailer to show you.
Yes, please.
Big. I don't think you'll have seen this trailer before.
Okay. Oh, The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Believer.
Yeah. The new...
Singing Justin Bieber.
Exactly. Sure. The latest reboot of a horror franchise from the people that did Halloween, and that started well and ended badly. They've taken on a much more difficult thing to do, The Exorcist.
Why?
Let's see if this trailer is capable of chilling your bones.
Okay.
Good day.
So, we're in a school. And he is... Who is he? Where have I seen him before?
He's Leslie
The dad.
Odom Jr. He was in Hamilton, but I
Yes.
think you've seen him in something else more recently. I can't remember what.
Yes. Okay.
Angela?
If you can hear this, we love you.
Girls have gone missing
So-
in the woods.
Some kids or one kid?
2 kids.
3 kids gone missing in the
No,
wood.
2 kids.
2 kids.
Yeah.
You're just walking and walking.
Oh! Jeez. Ugh. So...
Baby, you've been gone 3 days.
Okay. So... Perception of time has gone. They've come back, they have lots of cuts, and they're weird.
They're words. They're proper words.
They're... Ah! I'm so spooky. She just appeared.
That's the scariest thing a girl could do.
I know. Hell. Oh! So, these kids are possessed, I guess.
The body and the blood of Jesus Christ.
Oh, and we have a church. Church is bad.
Not good for Satan.
No. So, this... Oh, no.
The body and the blood.
Ugh, I don't like it.
The body and the blood. The body and the blood.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Mommy?
No, but there are people out there who have.
I don't like it, George. Why do you always have to show me these things?
This is...
You know I live in the woods.
Yes, more than like.
I think the woods are safe.
Oh! Why do these kids keep moving like that? So is that the woman that got exercised in the first Exorcist?
That's the mother of the character that got exorcised in the original. But it's the same actress,
Yeah.
Ellen Burstyn. She plays the mum in the original Exorcist.
What happened to the kid? Was she not exercised?
The kid was exorcised and survived, so
Look.
who knows whether there's going to be an appearance, but...
No. Oh.
What did you do?
Must be quite hard for 2 young girls or young actors to do something like this.
Yeah. They look like they are...
Do you think it's going to be good?
No. No, I do not think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be silly. I think I'll watch it.
Are you gonna watch it?
I will 100% watch it because it's an Exorcist movie. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. But I don't think it's going to be good. I don't see how it can be good. You haven't seen the original Exorcist film.
No.
That movie
And
is...
I'm not gonna.
That movie is a masterpiece.
Good.
Truly a masterpiece of cinema. It's not just a horror film. It goes beyond that. That's not the right way to describe it because horror movies are like really legitimate forms of cinema. But The Exorcist is so incredibly good, and you can't repeat it. Like they've tried. There have been many sequels to The Exorcist, and none of them are any good. Actually, no, that's not true. The Exorcist 3 is freaking brilliant, but it's a very different movie. It's not going to be good, but I'm really excited that it is happening, and I'm excited to go and see it. But no, I don't have a lot of high hopes for it. That's all the film trailers I wanted to show you. We can move into quizzing it old school, but
Quizzing it
also,
old school.
have you seen the new Miley Cyrus music video?
Yes.
Good. It's good, right?
Loved it.
Loved it. We don't need to watch it.
It's just a song that all of us, it's just about all of us, we were young, we did some stupid shit,
It is about all of us. Okay. Quizzing it old school. 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 Quizzing it old school.
Okay.
Here's the idea I've had. We alternate.
Yeah.
We do a quiz for each other every Culture Catch-Up episode. So I'm starting, I've done a quiz for you. And we pick a topic that we think is one of the other person's specialist topics, but they don't know what the topic is until the quiz.
Okay.
Okay? So I think a specialist topic for you is Taylor Swift. So
no, it's not.
So I've written, yes it is. I've written 10 questions for you.
Oh my God.
So it's 10 questions and we're going to see who has the highest score each time. 10 questions on Taylor Swift. Are you ready?
I don't know. Like, I listened to it. I'm scared. I don't think I know much about it.
No,
okay.
I think so it's a mixture. Some of them are quite tough.
Okay.
Some of them are quite easy. Okay. So you'll get points. You'll get a good endorphin hit from getting some points. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Question 1.
Yeah.
Which Taylor Swift album contains the song The One?
Folklore.
Folklore is correct. Well done.
I'm just really nervous. Okay.
Question number 2. Which Taylor Swift album contains the song The Last Time?
Can you sing it for me?
No. I'll give you. Do you want? You can get. I'll give you a hint, but it.
Okay.
Okay. It features. It features guest vocals from Gary Lightbody.
Oh, I don't know.
Gary Lightbody from Snow Patrol.
Oh, would it be Speak Now? No.
It's Red.
Red! Oh, what?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
God.
That's okay.
Yes.
There's time to recover. Right. Can you name this song from the lyrics? Question 3. Name the song from the lyrics.
I'm never going to get this.
You are. What's it like to brag about raking in dollars and getting bitches and models? And it's all good if you're bad, and it's okay if you're mad. If I was out flashing my dollars, I'd be a bitch, not a baller. They'd paint me out to be bad, so it's okay that I'm mad. The Man is correct. Well done. Okay.
Okay.
Question 4. Name the song from these lyrics. I don't like your kingdom keys. They once belonged to me. You asked me for a place to sleep, locked me out and threw a feast. What? The world moves on. Another day, another drama. But not for me, not for me. All I think about is karma. And then the world moves on, but one thing's for sure. Maybe I got mine, but you'll all get yours.
Is it Look What You Made Me Do?
It is Look What You Made Me Do. Correct. Here we go.
Yes.
Okay. Question 5. Name the song from the lyrics. Baby love, I think I've been a little too kind. Didn't notice you walking all over my peace of mind. In the shoes I gave you as a present, but in someone first only works when you're in the top 5. And by the way, I'm going out tonight.
Bejeweled!
Bejeweled is correct.
Best you ever live a bejeweled when I walk in the room. Sorry.
Okay, question 6. You're doing well. You've only got one wrong so far. We're halfway through. You ready for question 6?
Yeah.
Okay. On Taylor's version of Better Than Revenge, she updated the following lyrics. She's not a saint and she's not what you think. She's an actress, whoa, but she's better known for the things that she does on the mattress, whoa. What did she change the lyrics to?
I don't know.
You're not even going to try?
No.
Oh, no. The answer is, she's not a saint and she's not what you think. She's an actress, whoa. He was a moth to the flame. She was holding the matches.
Yes. Yeah, you told me last time, yeah.
Okay. Question 7. I think you'll get this. You can get this. What is Taylor's lucky number?
13.
13, correct.
You told me.
Well done. Okay. Question 8. 1989 is the next album slated to be getting the Taylor's version treatment. What albums have already been re-released as Taylor's versions, and in what order were they released?
No.
Yes.
No.
You can do this.
So the last one that was released was Speak Now.
Okay.
So that's, and then... Were there 3 that were released?
Okay, 3.
Red is the second one that was released.
Okay. So what was the first one?
I can't think. I can't think.
Think of...
Am I right with Red is the second one and Speak Now is the third one?
Yeah, but you need the first one for the point. I will give you a clue if you want a clue.
Yeah, yeah.
It is one of her early ones.
Taylor Swift?
No.
I don't know.
It's Fearless.
Fearless! What the... Sorry,
Okay.
just...
All right.
Half a point for this. I got 2 right, though. Give me half a point.
Okay. If Google Sheets allows for half a point, you can get half a point for that one because you get 2 of them.
Okay.
Question 9.
Okay.
Ready?
No.
Well, I'm giving you the question. How many different Taylor Swift songs have been featured in episodes of The Summer I Turned Pretty across seasons 1 and 2?
Oh, no. So I know there are 9 songs in season 2.
Okay.
But in season 1... 13.
Yes, correct. Well done. How did you get it?
Well, I know there were like 9 in season 2 because I read it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, Taylor's lucky number is 13, so I guess
There
it's
you
13.
go. There's actually 5 in season 1, which would make 14, except one is a repeated in season 2. So
which is
This Love.
Yeah, because it's what, yeah.
And there are 2 songs that are featured in trailers for the season, but not in
which
the
is
series.
Salt Air, August. Yeah.
Okay, you're doing really well. We're on question 10, and so far you have got
6.5 points.
Yes. Okay, question 10.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift memorably made a brief cameo appearance in a season 2 episode of New Girl called Elaine's Big Day. What was her character's name?
Rebecca.
No, the answer's Elaine.
Oh, shit!
The episode's named after her.
Oh my god, I don't remember that episode.
So it's Cece's wedding, but in the end the wedding doesn't happen and the groom runs away with Taylor Swift, played by Elaine. So it's not Cece's big day, it's Elaine's big day.
I'm rubbish.
No, you're not rubbish. So
I remember that episode now.
You've got 1, 2...
Either 6 or 6.5.
3,
depends on
4, 5, 6. 6.5 points.
Okay.
Because you didn't score over 8, now you have to watch the trailer for Saw X.
No! I don't want to.
Okay, so you now need to pick a specialist topic for me.
Yeah.
And make 10 questions, and we can see next week if I can beat 6.5.
Okay.
And that brings us to the end of a bumper packed culture catch-up to celebrate our 120th episode. I hope... Woo-hoo! Yeah, man. I hope you've all enjoyed being with us. It just leaves for us to make some recommendations of what people should go and see. Now, it was a big culture catch-up this week, so it was tough to do, but I've picked out 2 things that I think are big recommendations that people should go and see. And they are Talk to Me, the horror film, and Silo, the Apple series.
Okay.
Both excellent. What would you recommend people check out?
Well, get ready for our next special episode on The Summer Turned Pretty, the one after The Bear. So watch The Summer Turned Pretty. And The Vegetarian book by Kang.
Okay, there we go. So The Summer I Turned Pretty and The Vegetarian. And it just leaves for me to say, please do go and rate and review us, tell all your friends about us, get people listening, and we will excitedly see you next time for our episode on Season 2 of The Bear.
Yes.
Yes, mate. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we have to
I need to say goodbye, I mean. Thank you. Love
Thank
you.
you.
See you again. Bye. Bye. Bye.